Hey guys, Kristen here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be using the TBR game Lord of the Reeds to choose some books for my November TBR. So let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, the TBR game Lord of the Reeds was created by Sylvia over at Library Unbounded, and I will leave a link to her channel in the description box below if you want to go check out her videos yourself. This is actually Lord of the Reeds 2, The Two Libraries. I'm very excited. I've never ever played a TBR game quite like this before. So depending on how many books I end up with on my TBR from the Lord of the Reeds game, this might be my November TBR or this might be a November-December TBR. So I'm gonna have to adjust some of the rules just a little bit when I play the game in just a minute because I do not have a lot of physical books with me. I'm traveling, so I am going to make some small altercations, which I will explain when we get to that. My dog is chewing on her bone right there. Okay, so let's look at the rule book, and I'm just gonna go through like the most important stuff that applies to me for this video. So the Lord of the Reeds 2, The Two Libraries. The story. You are an assistant librarian at the Library of Undertowers located in the West March. As part of your job, once a month you must travel to the Great Library at Dol Amroth in Western Gondor and deliver the books you've gathered along the way. The road is treacherous, but you are brave and quite smart, so there is nothing to worry about. Now go on your first adventure, and may the stars shine upon the end of your road. So the goal on the game map is to get from the library at the bottom left corner to the library at the top right corner. I just realized, did I do that right? I think I did. And you do this by moving around the game board using a D12 dice. That's a 12-sided dice, which Sylvia has provided digitally, so we're going to be using that. You also have a little companion character from the Fellowship of the Reed, who is your character that will travel along the game board tiles for you, and that is also chosen using a digitally provided dice. Or die, I guess I should say. Alright, so let's just get right into it. Here is the game board. Okay, so I'm gonna click on start. Who will accompany you? Okay, so every character has their own little bonus that goes with the character for the game. So the character that you get is a little bit important. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we get a good character. Boromir. Boromir? Did I say that right? Okay, let's go look at Boromir's character card and see what his bonus is. Okay, so by the way, these are the character cards. The art on them is so cute. Okay, Boromir, Redemption. Allows you to redraw a card once. Ooh, this actually is helpful. If you land on the Dead Marshes, allows you to redraw a book once. Okay, so we are, hold on, let me click on Boromir. Is that him? That's him. Okay. Okay, let's make it big. Ah, it's so cute. Okay, so we're down here. We have to travel throughout these tiles and get all the way to the other library up here in the top corner. Here's the die that we're gonna click on a roll. So on the game board, the blank spaces represent a prompt. So if I land on a blank space, I click on a prompt card. Sylvia created 100 prompt cards. Like, honestly, amazing. So there's a whole bunch of different prompts. And remember, if I don't like one, I get to redraw a prompt card, but I only get to do that once in the game. So I have to use that wisely. There are also series spaces. If you end up landing on one of those tiles, you have to continue reading a series that you're already in the middle of, meaning you've at least read like the first book in the series, you're interested in reading the rest of the series, but you're stuck. You just haven't continued the series yet. Goodness knows I have a lot of those. The TBR jar is where we have a little bitty problem because I don't like TBR jars. It's just a personal thing. Also, if you land on these black swirly spots, these are the Dead Marshes. And if you land on them, you're supposed to choose a book from any book that's unread from your bookshelf. So here's the deal with that though. I have, I think, 8 fiction books behind me. Those are going to be my 8 books that I choose from. If I land on the Dead Marsh, we're gonna use a random number generator, and we're gonna pick a number between 1 and 8, and I'll count left to right, and that will be the book that I pick. For the TBR jar, we're gonna do the same thing with the random number generator, and I am going to use the unread books on my Kindle for that. So let's go ahead and roll the dice and get started. I'm really excited. I'm also a little bit nervous. Okay. 1. Off to a super start. We're moving 1 space. Okay. All right, that does mean that we get to have a prompt card, which is down here in the corner. 3 strands of golden hair. Read a book that was a gift. Oh my God, I have the perfect book for this. Okay, so I don't have many books that were a gift, especially right now because I don't have all of my physical books, but I do have one, and I did bring it with me. And that is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. That is amazing without even having to go to the Dead Marshes. I landed on just the right book. So my husband gave me this book. I don't remember if it was for my birthday or for Christmas, because he had gone with me to a Leigh Bardugo book signing, and so he recognized the name, and he was pretty sure he hadn't seen this one on my shelves, and he even got the one with the black sprayed edges, which is amazing, and it has these pretty little I just realized it's got, hold on a second. Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna focus, but it's got these like persimmons on the inside. I think that's what those are. Look at my shirt. Look at my shirt. I'm wearing my persimmon shirt right now. That's kismet. Okay, so first book on the TBR, The Familiar, off to a super start. Okay, I don't know how many actual physical books are going to go in this TBR, but I'm gonna just put this there for now. Okay, so let's continue. So we only got 1 space. That's not a great start, but as far as the prompt goes, that went really well. Okay, so let's roll again. 5, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The TBR jar shall decide your fate. So let's go to the random number generator. I think we're just gonna pick 30. We'll go 30 back. How about that? Okay, so I've put in the numbers 1 to 30, and here we go. I don't even know what I'm hoping for because I don't remember like what books are on my thing where. Number 1. Number 1. Okay, so the first unread book on my Kindle. That is crazy. Okay, so the most recent unread book that I actually have the completed book for downloaded, because I do have a couple on here that are samples, and I don't think I'm gonna count those because I don't technically own them. I haven't bought them, I just downloaded a sample. So, the first one is, oh boy, the Book of Azrael, right here. The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. So I actually did start this book a long time ago. I think I got it on Kindle Unlimited, and I read a little bit of it. And for whatever reason, I just wasn't vibing with it, which is weird because people who enjoy the same books that I enjoy really like this book. And I always kind of felt like I needed to come back to it and give it another try. So we will be coming back to the book, we will be coming back to the Book of Azrael in the month of November, or maybe December. Okay, so you have 2 books so far in the TBR, and I have to say, this is not going too poorly. My biggest concern is getting too many books in my TBR and not being able to read them all. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, let's do roll number 3. 1 again. We're not making a lot of progress on the game board at all. All right, one space, it is a blank tile, which means we're gonna get a prompt card. And I kind of like the prompt cards, I think they're fun. Wait, maybe I shouldn't say that right before I click on a prompt card. That's how you get like a really bad prompt card. Okay. Okay, Fog on the Barrow Downs, a book from the lowest shelf. I don't have a lowest shelf. Maybe we should do the swap out card. Should we use Boromir's superpower on this roll? Okay, I'm going to. We're gonna roll it again. Pipeweed. Oh. Read a friend's favorite book. Okay, this one is a little better. Let me think. All right, hold on. We gotta figure this one out. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that one at the end of the video. That one is making me do some thinking. All right, roll number 4. Ooh, finally, a big number, 11. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, well, I think I forgot to tell you guys the most important thing. If you land on a dead marsh spot, you actually have to go back to the previous dead marsh tile on the game board. And if you land at like the first one, you actually have to go back to the start. However, you must still pick a book to read. It's supposed to be any book from your bookshelf, and so for me, I'm picking one from back here. So we're gonna go back here. That is upsetting. All right, ready? Okay, so here we go. We're just gonna count to 5. 5. Okay, so the book I grabbed was The Woman Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. They just made that movie on Netflix of this book, and I keep putting off watching it because I wanted to read the book first, but we all know if you read the book right before you see the movie, then you spend like the whole movie comparing it to the book. But I would really like to read this before I see the movie, and the movie's not going anywhere. So this is another good pick. I've actually read other Ruth Ware books. Okay, so we've got book number 3, but remember we do have 4 books on the TBR. Okay, so we're not very far across the board. We have 4 books on our TBR. Whew. 10. Okay, it's a nice big number, but if I get another dead marsh, I'm gonna be really mad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo, that was way too close. Way too close. Prompt card. The Prancing Pony. Read a book with an animal on the cover or in the title. Ooh, a book with an animal. Ooh, okay. Nope, got the perfect one. A book with an animal on the cover. I am gonna do, focus here. Mate by Allie Hazelwood. So this is the follow-up. It's the sequel to Bride. It's kind of a sequel, companion book, whatever you want to call it. I loved Bride. I have been wanting to read this book from like the day it came out, and I just haven't done it yet. You know when you really want to read something and you know you're probably going to like it, but for whatever reason you put it off? Why? Why do we do that? Why? Why? Perfect. Oh. Okay, let's keep rolling. Oh, come on. 5. I don't think that's going to take us to a dead marsh spot, so, whew, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, another prompt card. Oh, I shouldn't be excited until I see it. I know better. The Fellowship of the Ring. Read a book with multiple points of view. Ooh, this qualifies a lot of fantasy books, especially romantasy. So let's see. Does tourist season have multiple points of view? I think it does. Tourist season has multiple points of view, right? All of her books do. Okay, so that's what we're going with. Tourist Season by Bren Weaver. I don't know. There we go. That kind of focused. Love the Ruinous Love trilogy. Really excited. Just like Mate. Been wanting to read this since the day it came out and just haven't done it yet. Now we have 6 books on our TBR. Let's do roll number 7. Oh, please, no, 9. Oh my gosh, that sounds very close to where that dead marsh spot is. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't have very good spatial awareness, and I've never been happier for that than right now. Went right past the dead marsh spot. I am on the last tile before the end, which means I have this prompt card, and then the next roll should take me to the end of the game. Okay, let's see what this prompt card is. The Battle of Helm's Deep. I don't even know what that is. Read a book with a fortress/castle on the cover or in the title. Ooh, okay, so as a fantasy reader, this should be really easy for me. Why aren't we putting pictures of castles on the cover? Why is this so hard? We're gonna come back to that one also. We'll come back to that one at the end of the video. Wow, that's really, I cannot believe that I'm struggling with that so much. We have one final roll. As long as I roll a 1 or higher, we're at the end of the game. 10. Okay, so here we go. We are at the finish line. We made it. Pick a book as a reward. So for completing the game, I get to pick any book on my personal TBR that I want to read this month. I am going to choose, let's see. I have a 10 before the end list. I have, ooh, okay. I know what I'm actually gonna put on this list. Yeah, I'm gonna put Air of Fire. Air of Fire, the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I've already read this series. It's like one of my all-time favorite series, but I have never finished Kingdom of Ash. Yeah, no, I've never finished Kingdom of Ash. All-time favorite series, like literally. I tell people all the time, but I've never finished the last book in the series. Again, why do we do this? I have been rereading. So far, I've read books 1 and 2, and then I wanted, before the end of November, I wanted to read Assassin's Blade and Air of Fire. Congratulations, and enjoy your reading until next month. I need a book that a friend loves, and I need a book with a castle on the cover. Okay. I think I may have found the book with the fortress or the castle on the cover. We're gonna cheat a teeny tiny bit here. Okay. The House Sapphire by Marissa Meyer. I have read almost all of the books that she's written, with the exception of like 2. And I just recently learned that this book just came out in the month of November. I hadn't even heard anything about it. And it does have to do with the Mansion of Sapphire, and it's like a Bluebeard retelling, and there's a girl who sees ghosts. I'm actually not even 100% sure what the plot is of this, but because it's this author, Marissa Meyer, I'm gonna give it a try. And the mansion, it's not really a castle, it's not really a fortress, but I think I'm gonna use that because that's what they're showing us. Those are like the stairs leading up to the mansion, and we're gonna go with that. So if we have to cheat a little bit, I mean, it's my TBR, okay. All right, the other one being a book that a friend loves. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to choose a book that the internet seems to love. Littlefoot. We're filming video here, baby. I'm gonna choose a book that the internet seems to love. The book on my 10 before the end that has the highest review score on Goodreads. Okay, so actually the highest one, oh, this is good news. The highest score is 4.50, and the highest of the 10 books on my 10 before the end list, meaning the book with like the highest Goodreads rating score, is The Everlasting by Alex E. The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow, not Alex E. Horror. Let's see if I can get this to, there we go. Yes, that's about right, because every time I see this book mentioned on YouTube or Threads or Instagram, it is for people to talk about like how much they loved it and how life-changing this book was. Okay, so here are the books that I am going to be reading, hopefully in the month of November, possibly in November and December. We'll see. Let's see what happens when I get to my November wrap-up. Okay, so 2 of the books I own in print. Leigh Bardugo's The Familiar and The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. If I read both of those in November, I'd be super excited to cross those off of my list. Also, I'm going to be reading The Book of Azrael by Amber Nicole and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. I almost said horror again. I forgot something. Oh, and Tourist Season by Bren Weaver. That's right, okay. So, there we go. I have played Lord of the Reeds 2, the 2 libraries. A lot of fun. Thank you a lot to Sylvia at Unbounded Library for creating that TBR game. I know she made it for herself and for her own use originally, but it's really well thought out and all of the artwork is amazing and it was super cute and fun. And thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give me a like and leave me a comment. Which of the books from my November TBR are you hoping the most that I get to read? Like which one would you say that I should start first, I guess is what I should ask. Let me know in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my next video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!